पावन सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, सुंदर विग्रह मेघश्याम, गंगा तुलसी शालिग्राम, सुंदर विग्रह मेघश्याम, गंगा तुलसी शालिग्राम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, भद्रागिरिशव सीताराम, भगत जन प्रिय सीताराम, भद्रागिरिशव सीताराम, भगत जन प्रिय सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, जानकी रमण सीताराम, जय जय राघव सीताराम, जानकी रमण सीताराम, जय जय राघव सीताराम, रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम, भज प्यारे तू सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम, भज प्यारे तू सीताराम, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे. Translation: The Lord of the Raghus, the descendant of the Raghu dynasty, King Ramachandra, the purifier of the fallen, glories to Sri Sitaram. The beautiful deity forms are dark as a thunder cloud, glories to the Ganga, Tulsi Devi and Saligram Shila. The auspicious Lord of the mountain, Sitaram, the ones dear to the devotees, Sitaram. The beloved of the daughter of Janaka, all glories to Sitaram, all glories to the descendant of the Raghu dynasty, Sitaram. Hare Krishna, thank you also. There's 17th Ram Navami, so I would request you all to visit your centers to celebrate Sri Ram Navami, because it's Ram's birthday, right? Appearance day of Lord Ram, and Lord Ram is none other than Lord Krishna himself. Okay, yeah, so okay, Prabhuji, can you share the screen? Let's begin. Dhruva Maharaj's prayers. So far, so Dhruva Maharaj has started, glorifying the Lord with the transcendental knowledge that he got by the Lord's mercy, right? And then he goes on, he goes on glorifying the Lord, and he glorifies the Lord. See, he offers prayers according to the four limbs, right? To offer prayers, there are 4 steps or 4 paths. Anybody knows what are the 4 steps involved in offering prayers to the Lord? Who knows? We cannot just go stand in front of the Lord and say, give me that, give me that, give me this. No, there are steps, right? Methodically, we need to offer prayers. Anybody knows what are the 4 steps?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah.
Smaranam.
Sorry?
Smaranam.
Those are the 9 processes of devotional service.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about when you go in front of the deity or picture or temple, when you offer prayers, how do you offer prayers? There's a way. Nobody knows. 4 paths, 4 steps. So there are 4 steps involved. First step, very important, because if you keep saying my prayers are not answered, my prayers are not answered, so there is a reason why your prayers are not answered, because you're not praying the way you're supposed to pray, right? So there are 4 steps how we need to pray. First thing, you need to go and glorify the Lord. Very first step or first limb or first step is glorification of the Lord. Okay, saying we glorify, no, in the beginning of the class, Mangalacharan, we say, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dheena Bandhu Jagatpate. So that is glorifying. You're very merciful, right? You're ocean of mercy, Karuna Sindhu. Dheena Bandhu, you're a friend of people in distress, right? And Jagatpate, you are the maintainer of the entire world, right? So that way we glorify, right? So first step is glorifying the Lord in our own, different way, in our own little way that we can. And then next step is to thank him for all the blessings that he showered upon us, right? We don't even deserve anything, still he's given us all the blessings, right? And we need to thank him. Okay, we cannot even count his blessings, so we need to thank him, and we always need to be grateful to him. That is the second step. Third step is we need to seek forgiveness. We need to say sorry for all the mistakes that we do. Every single day we do mistakes, right? And still Krishna bestows his mercy upon us, right? So that is his mercy, that is because he is very, very merciful. He is the Lord. So many mistakes we do every day, knowingly, unknowingly, knowingly also we commit a lot of sins, right? So we need to ask, forgiveness. We need to say sorry to the Lord. That is the third step. Fourth step is you need to ask what you want. Directly we cannot go ask Krishna, I want this, I have this problem, solve this, I have that problem. No, these are the steps. Fourth step, the last step, is where you ask Krishna, see, I'm fallen, you are forgiving me, I do so many mistakes, you've forgiven me, and then you slowly go and ask him, this is the problem you have, and this is what you are seeking, or the solution you want, right? So this is the way we pray. Okay, so, and you know what a devotee prays for? Devotee never asks for any material desires. No, I want this, I want money, I want promotion. No, devotee says, keep me in your service all the time. Eternally, I want to be a servant. That is what a devotee prays. Yeah, we are not at that level. We have families, we have we have a lot of problems. We need to surpass all this, right? So asking Krishna for help is not wrong, right? Chaturvidam badante mam jano sugrutina arjuna. Krishna says they are all good people only. They ask me for money. They ask me for solutions to their problems. They come here for gyan. They come here for inquisitiveness. That is still fine. They are all sukrutino. They are all good people only, pious people only. Okay? So asking Krishna, to save us from the distress that we are currently undergoing, the issues that we are having, is not wrong, because we are not pure devotees. Right? Slowly that will come. Anyabilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. That level we will progress slowly, and we will definitely reach a stage where we do not go and ask for anything. Even if we have 100 problems, we will not ask for any solution. We just go and, in front of Krishna, we pray, asking him, give us more and more ability to please you. Give us more and more, opportunities to serve you. That is all we ask. That is at the pure stage. Okay, so this is the way we pray, 4 steps. Otherwise, your prayers will not be answered, or even if they're answered, takes a long time for Krishna to answer. Okay, so these are the 4 limbs of prayers. So this is the way we need to pray. Bhakti muhu pravahataam tvali prasango bhuyadhananta mahatam amalashayana enanjaso alpanam uruvyasanam bhavadhim neshye bhavad gunakatham. Translation. Dhruva Maharaj continued, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly, as the waves of a river constantly flow. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the assigned ocean of material existence, which is filled with the waves of blazing fire-like dangers. It will be very easy for me, for I am becoming mad to hear about your transcendental qualities and pastimes which are eternally existent. Can anybody read the purport, please?
Hallelujah.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The significant, the
Hare
significant, the significant point in Dhruva Maharaj statement is that he wanted the association of pure devotees. Transcendental devotional service cannot be complete and cannot be relishable without the association of devotees. We have therefore established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Anyone who is trying to be aloof from this Krishna Consciousness Society and yet engage in Krishna consciousness is living in a great hallucination. For this is not possible. From this statement by Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear that unless one is associated with devotees, his devotional service does not mature. It does not become distinct from material activities. The Lord says, Satam prasangam mama virya samvidyo bhavanti. Heard Krishna Rasyan. Only in the association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable to heart and ear. Dhruva Maharaj explicitly wanted the association of devotees. The association in devotional activities is just like the waves of an sensation flowing river. In our Krishna Consciousness Society, we have fully engagement 24 hours a day. Every moment of our time is always busily engaged in the service of the Lord. This is called instant flow of devotional service. A Mayavadi philosopher may question us, you may be very happy in association of devotees, but what is your plan for crossing the ocean of material existence? Dhruva Maharaj's answer is that it is not very difficult. He clearly says that this ocean can be crossed very easily if one simply becomes mad to hear the glories of the Lord. Bhavat Guna Katha, for anyone who persistently engages in hearing the topics of Lord from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya
Charitamrita.
Charitamrita, Hare Krishna, and who is actually addicted to this process, just as one becomes addicted to intoxicants, it is very easy to cross the missiles of material existence. The ocean of material nescience is compared to a blazing fire, but to a devotee, this blazing fire is insignificant because he is completely absorbed in devotional service, although the material world is blazing fire. To a devotee, it appears full of pleasure. Visva Anna Sukhyate. The purport of the statement by Dhruva Maharaj is that devotional service in the association of devotees is the cause of the development of further devotional service. By devotional service only is one elevated to the transcendental planet Goloka, Vrindavana, and there is only devotional service. For the activities of devotional service, both in this world and in the spiritual world, are one and the same. Devotional service does not change. The example of a mango can be given here. If one gets an unripe mango, it is still a mango, and when it is ripe, it remains the same mango. But it has become more tasteful and relishable. Similarly, there is a devotional service performed according to the direction of the spiritual master, and in conjunctions and regulated principles of Shastra, and there is devotional service in the spiritual world, rendered directly in association with the Supreme Personality of God. But they are both the same. There is no change. The difference is that one stage is unripe and the other is ripe and more relishable. It is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, bro. Thank you. Next shloka, we will finish and then we will learn about it because both are same. I mean, the theme is same. 12th shloka. Tena smaranti atitaram priyam ईशमर्त्यां ये चान्वदा सुतस्य हृद्ग्रह वित्तधाराः ये त्वाब्जनाभाभ्य भवदीयपदारविन्द सौगन्ध्यलुब्धा हृदयेषु कृता प्रसङ्गाः. O Lord, who have a lotus navel, If a person happens to associate with a devotee whose heart always hankers after your lotus feet, seeking always their fragrance, he is never attached to the material body or in a bodily relationship to offspring, friends, home, wealth, and wife, which are very, very dear to the materialistic persons. Indeed, he does not care for them. Translation, purport, anybody?
Uh, Mataji, I can
Krishna
read.
Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
A special advantage in devotional service is that devotees not only enjoy the transcendental pastimes of the Lord by hearing and chanting and glorifying them, but also are not very much attracted to their bodies. Unlike the yogis, who are too attached to the body and who think that by performing bodily gymnastic exercises, they will advance in spiritual consciousness. Yogis are generally not very much interested in devotional service. They want to regulate the breathing process. This is simply a bodily concern. Here, Dhruva Maharaj plainly says that a devotee has no more bodily interest. He knows that he is not the body. Therefore, from the very beginning, without wasting time in bodily exercises, a devotee searches out a pure devotee and simply by his association becomes more advanced in spiritual consciousness than any yogi. Because a devotee knows that he is not the body, he is never affected by bodily happiness or distress. He is not interested in bodily relationships with wife, children, home, bank balance, etc., or in the distress and happiness which come from these things. This is the special advantage of being a devotee. This status of life is possible only when a person is interested in associating with a pure devotee who always enjoys the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Yeah, so let's go back. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Let's go back to text 11. We'll start from there. So here it clearly says in the purport, Dhruva Maharaj prays, what he prays, his prayers are not, material or spiritual. He doesn't even say, let me advance, let me do that, let me do this, let me chant well. No, that is not, see, we may say, okay, my desires are not spiritual, material. My desires are spiritual only. I go to God and ask him to give me more focus, more concentration, and all that, so that I can chant well. I go to God and ask him to give me strength to take up Ekadashi Vrata well, so that I can, chant in Brahma Muhurta. I can advance in spiritual service. I can advance in devotional service. You might say those are all spiritual. Those are still desires. Because what Rupa Goswami defines bhakti as, devotional service as, he says, Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Jnana karmadi anavratam. Right? Anyabhilashita shunyam. Desire should be zero. Anyabhilashita shunyam. Whether it is material desire or whether it is spiritual desire, Rupa Goswami says desire should be zero. Then it is called a devotion service. The only desire or the only aim or goal of performing devotion service is to make Krishna happy. Is to just make Krishna happy. That's all. That is the main goal or the whole idea of performing devotion service. Right? It's not about spiritual desires or material desires. Desire is a desire. Right? But only because we are not at that level, desires, going and asking Krishna to, help us satisfy our desires is allowed. Because we are not at that level. Slowly, we will go to that level, provided our chanting is of quality. Right? 16 rounds plus quality chanting. So this is very important. And not only that, here Dhruva Maharaj says in the translation, we can see, kindly bless me, Lord, so that I may associate with great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service. Right? Only by associating with devotees, one can progress in Krishna consciousness. There is no other way. Prabhupada writes, one is literally in hallucination. If he is thinking, he can still, progress in bhakti without associating with devotees. Prabhupada says literally that person is hallucinating if he is thinking he can progress in devotional service without devotee association. Right? Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karya Uday. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta. by listening to Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, one can revoke or, reawaken the prem, Krishna prem, which is dormant in one's heart. There's no other way, right? Nitya Siddha Krishna prema sadhya kabunai. It is possible, to reawaken the Krishna prem that is lying in our, lying in the deep core of our heart. It is definitely possible. What is the way for it? Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta. Shravana Adi. It begins with Shravana. Whom do you listen to? You listen to a devotee, right? A bona fide spiritual master or somebody coming in the bona fide spiritual, disciplic succession. You cannot go to a non-devotee and listen to Krishna Katha, right? No. Shravanam Naiva Kartamyam. You're not supposed to listen to a Krishna Katha from a non-devotee because it is same as tasting milk which is offered to a snake. When you offer milk to snake, milk is nectarian, it is amrita, all that is fine, it is good, it is filled with goodness. But the moment milk is touched by the tongue of a snake, what happens? Snake poisons it, right? The whole milk gets poisoned just because it is touched by a snake. And if you drink that same milk, what will happen? You will also be poisoned, right? So, listening to Krishna Katha from a non-devotee or a devotee or any person who does not come through the disciplic succession or who does not believe in God, atheists, demoniac people, we are not supposed to listen to Krishna Katha from them because it is poisoned. They do not give us the real nectar of Krishna Katha. You get it in a poisoned way, and we will all die if we drink that poisoned milk from snake, right? Same way, same, our spiritual seed or our spiritual life will die at once if we listen to someone who is coming in who is a non-devotee. So that's why devotee association is important. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta. You need to listen to Krishna Katha, right? Read Krishna Katha. We are reading from Prabhupada. Prabhupada is a pure devotee. We need to listen to devotees who are coming in the disciplic succession. Their sampradaya, everything is important. And the moment you associate with them to hear Krishna Katha, that is devotee association, right? That is devotee association. And even in Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami says, Sangatyaga Satovritti. Right? Sangatyaga Satovritti. What does that mean? Sangatyaga, you need to give up the association of non-devotees and materialistic people. People who are so body conscious, right? So body conscious. We need to give up the association with them. Why? Because you know what? Through association, the other person's desires get transferred to us, right? See, forget about the scriptures. When I was in school, my teacher also used to say the same thing. Your company of friends decide your character. She used to say, right? The kind of friends you select or the kind of people you spend a lot of time with in school actually decides your character. Actually shapes your character, right? So that's why my teacher used to say, you go join only good people, people who study well, people who prioritize, values, right? Go join only, make friends only with those people, she used to say. Same thing applies. Same thing Shastra is also saying, right? Sangatyaga, give up the association of materialistic people, non-devotees, demoniacs, body conscious people. Why? Because their desires slowly get transferred to us, right? And what happens? Their desires become our desires, right? Because we are not pure devotees. Prabhupada actually shared his room with a hippie, a drug addict, and all that, and converted him into a devotee, right? Can we do that? Slowly, we will also become non-devotees because we are not strong in our devotion service. It is still germinating. The seed of devotion is still germinating, and it has to grow. It should become a tree. Right now, it is not even germinated fully, right? So in this stage, a lot of care is needed. When children are small, we care for them more, right? When they grow up, we give them less care, right? Same way, we need to nurture it. The stage our devotion is in requires a lot of nourishment and nurturing and care and all that, right? For that, we need to take care of the weeds, right? Associating with materialistic people for a long time in a day actually is a weed for our devotion growth, right? And then what does Rupa Goswami say? Sangatyaga Satovritti. Satovritti means serving pure devotees. What do you mean by associating with pure devotees? Associating with pure devotees means serving pure devotees, right? Because a devotee, say a devotee is senior to you, you serve the devotee, right? If a devotee is junior to you, you again serve the devotee by giving him more of encouragement, more of knowledge, right? If a devotee is junior to you, junior in devotion service, not by age, right? you share your knowledge, you share encouragement, you help him if he's finding some difficulty in progressing in devotional service, right? That way you're serving a junior devotee. And if your devotee is on the same level as you, then you make friendship, right? You make friendship, and you help each other, you encourage each other. That way again you're serving the devotee, right? Serving is not only pure devotees. We can serve any a devotee on any level, right? That is also called devotional service, and that is called devotee association. It's very, very important, right? And a weed in devotional service, or something that can prick our devotional seed and kill it, is janasangasya, janasangasya, right? So associating with materialistic people, which we already discussed, right? And not only that, Shraddha, there are stages to attain Krishna prem. Shraddha, sadhasanga, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, nishcha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema, right? And we all thought so far Shraddha is the first stage, right? Shraddha is the first stage of devotional service. No, before Shraddha, there are two other stages. Anybody knows? How do you get Shraddha? Yeah, Prajalpa is one more thing. When you associate with materialistic people, what happens? We start talking unnecessary things, politics, cricket, and all that. And it's Prajalpa. It's just, wasting our energy in talking useless things. Yeah, anybody? What is that stage? Two stages that we have even before Shraddha. No one knows?
Mother, you listening to the Lord, about the Lord?
Listening about the Lord. Yeah, listening about the Lord.
From any spiritual master or
Yeah,
somebody?
Haribol, yes.
Yeah.
Shushruša Shraddadhanasya Vasudeva Katarachi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. Right? Shushruša Shraddadhanasya. When you listen to pure devotees, as Prabhuji said, right? As Kamlesh Prabhuji said, when you listen to pure devotees, that is serving pure devotees. You might ask, how are we serving? Just by listening. You're just by listening, you're doing Vani Seva. You're listening to devotees' words, right? That is called Vani Seva. You're just by listening to pure devotees, lectures, or they're following their instructions, or that in itself is Vani Seva. That is called serving devotees, right? So Mahat Seva, that is called Mahat Seva. You're serving Mahatmas just by listening to their lectures, right? And Satam Kripa, when you listen, what happens? The more you listen, the more that pure devotee gets pleased. The more you are able to please that devotee, what happens? That pure devotee's mercy will be showered upon you. Satam Kripa, then Kripa will come, mercy will come, right? The more you serve, the more Kripa you'll get. And the more you get that Kripa, no, you accumulate that Kripa, and then you enter the 9 stages of devotion service. So we need qualification even to enter the 9 stages of devotion service. First stage is Shraddha. Faith is not that easy, no? You can ask how, I have a strong faith in Krishna. How did you get that faith? Somebody else is not having that faith that you have. You are at least going to the temple. Your friend is not even going to the temple. You are calling him. You are going to his house and bringing him. Still, he is not coming to the temple. Why? Because he has no faith. You have that faith, right? So even to get to the first step, there are steps to even get to the first step, right? And that is these 2 steps, Mahat Seva and Satam Kripa. Example, Narada Muni, right? He was just hearing to the Bhakti Vedantas and eating the remnants of food that these Bhakti Vedantas were ate, right? And that's how they got pleased. They looked at this small boy who was just listening to him all the time and eating the remnants and all. They got pleased. They were like, oh, small boy doing so much of seva, Vani Seva, Vapu Seva and all. So they got pleased and they gave him mercy, right? And that's how he became pure devotee. He became Narada Muni, right? A maid servant son became Narada Muni. Today, he is the spiritual master of 100 million devotees, right? 100 million devotees, including Valmiki, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj. I mean, whoever, Mrigari, right? The hunter Mrigari who was just hunting and robbing and things like that. So he's a spiritual master of everybody, right? So now that's very important. See, it clearly says here, Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear that unless one is associated with devotees, his devotional service is not mature. We cannot even enter the 9 stages of devotional service. How do you get Krishna Prem if you don't even enter Shraddha stage? Right? To enter Shraddha stage, Mahat Seva Satam Kripa, devotee association is very, 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 very important. Without that, nothing is possible. Right? So here it says, only in the association of pure devotees can the words of Lord Krishna be fully potent and relishable to the heart. This we already saw, right? If you go listen to the same Krishna Katha from a non-devotee, it is poisoned. Whatever little devotion you have for Krishna, that will also go away, right? So, Krishna Katha becomes more potent and fully relishable to the heart and ear only when discussed in the association of pure devotees. That is why satsang is very important, right? Parikshit Maharaj is a good example. Parikshit Maharaj heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Shukadev Goswami in the association of devotees. Just because Shukadev Goswami was narrating it, Narada Muni came, Vyasadev came. Vyasadev is the one who composed Srimad Bhagavatam. Still he came and heard, right? Shukadev Goswami. He never said, I composed. He is my son. I am his guru. Why should I hear? No. He still said, I want to hear. Because that is devotee association, right? So Prabhupada, one good example is Prabhupada asked his devotee, disciple once to take class right in front of him. Okay, entire class was there. So many people were there. Prabhupada was like, you come and take class. You sit on Vyasasan. I will sit down. Then the disciple was like, what is this? What did I do? What aparat did I do? Why are you doing this? Then Prabhupada said, no, I want to see what Krishna wants to tell me through you. That is how a devotee behaves. Right? Prabhupada never said, oh, I am your spiritual master. I only taught you everything. I don't have to listen to you. No. Prabhupada said, I want to see what Krishna wants to tell me through you. Right? So that is devotee association. So the Parikshit Maharaj, when he decided to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and Shukadev Goswami was narrating it, people from different planetary systems came. From Brahmaloka people came, right? From so many different planetary systems people came just to listen to Shukadev Goswami's Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And yeah, every moment of our time is always busily engaged in devotion service only when we are in the association of devotees, right? So it's said, Prabhupada says, no, there are, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us the timetable 8 plus 8 plus 8, right? So 24 hours that we have, 8 hours for our day, for ourselves, sleeping and all that, taking care of the body, and 8 hours for devotion service, 8 hours for work, right? That's how he divides 24 hours in a day. And once Prabhupada was asked, a journalist came and asked Prabhupada, you say you work so much, right? You simply ask for prasadam and donations and everything from so many people. So many celebrities are there in your, disciple list, right? They all donate so much money, so much funds for ISKCON. Why, Prabhupada? What are you even going to do with all this? That journalist asked, okay. Then Prabhupada was like, you're asking me if I work? I work 24 hours. I'm 79 years old. I'm 69 years old. I'm 70 years old almost. I travel all around the world with little prasadam. Okay, I chant, I dance, I conduct kirtans, right? I run institutions, multiple ISKCON centers, right? I build temples. I motivate a lot of people, right? I write and translate, books, spiritual books. Do you work 24 hours a day? Prabhupada questioned the journalist. And the journalist was like, 24 hours, how can I work? I work only for 7 to 8 hours in a day, right? So that's why Prabhupada said, we brahmacharis, we temple residents work more than you. And you are asking if we work. And only because we are working, there is still proper rain and food and everything happening properly, crops happening, growing properly, because sacrifice is happening, right? Only when we have proper sacrifice, there's proper rain, and from rain comes grain. Right? We learned this in Bhagavad Gita. So this is what Prabhupada said. And that journalist was like, she couldn't speak anything further. Right? So here also it says, Dhruva Maharaj says so clearly, this ocean of nescience, this birth and death can be easily crossed only by simply hearing and simply becoming mad to hear the glories of the Lord. Right? Just simply becoming mad to hear the glories of the Lord. Right? So, Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtanam, Hridayantosto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. Just by developing that strong urge to hear about the Lord, you don't even have to hear the glories. Just by developing the urge to hear, your all the abhadras, no anarthas in the heart, the impurities of material desire and everything gets cleansed. You become so pure just by deciding to hear about the Lord. And if you really hear about the Lord, what more benefit you'll get? Can you imagine? Right? So Prabhupada always meditates upon this verse, Shinvatam Swakata Krishna, because it says just by developing a small propensity to hear about the Lord, you get purified. Your material desires fully gets cleansed. And if you really hear, what will happen? Can you imagine? Like we discussed, no, we were discussing in Sunday's class, right? So there's Putana who came and gives Krishna poisoned milk, right? Just by giving poisoned milk, Krishna saw milk. Krishna never saw poison in the milk. Krishna only sees good in people. He doesn't see the bad, right? So Krishna saw milk and Krishna is like, oh, she fed me milk like a mother. So when Krishna delivered Putana, right? And he actually sent her to Goloka and eternally gave Putana a mother's position. Can you imagine? Putana is mother for Krishna in Goloka, like a position equivalent to that of Yashoda Mata for feeding poisoned milk. And we feed him with pure milk. We feed him with freshly cooked bhog, sweet fruits and vegetables and everything. What position will Krishna give us? Can you imagine? If a person just by feeding poison milk can get up mother's position in Goloka, can you imagine what position we will get? Right? Because we are not feeding him any poisoned food, right? We are feeding him food cooked with great care, love, cleanliness, and all that, right? So what position will we get, right? So that's why just by developing the propensity or the urge to hear Krishna Katha, Krishna automatically purifies you. And if you really go and hear, you cannot even measure the benefit that you'll be getting, right? And here it is said, no, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. So the spiritual master has a predominant role to play here. Samsara Dava Nalalidha Lokat, right? That means Samsara Dava Nalalidha Loka. So Tranaya Karunya Dhana Ghananpa means there's a blazing forest fire of material existence. And you know who can, turn off that fire? Only spiritual master, right? Only spiritual master can pour water through Krishna Prem. He gives us Krishna Prem. That in itself extinguishes the blazing forest fire of this material existence. The material existence is not easy. We get entangled. People go mad here with birth and death. So many problems and so many material solutions, and they do not even know what is right, what is wrong. For that moment, whatever they feel right, they do it, and they have to take the karma bondage, again come back to this world to pay back, to repay that karma debt, right? That is how the law of karma works. So if we do not have the knowledge of the scriptures, if we do not have the spiritual master to guide us, God knows what will happen to us. That's why spiritual master is the only one who can extinguish the blazing fire of material existence completely, and he can free us from the birth and death cycle, vicious cycle of birth and death. A very nice example is given here, right? Mango, right? Only when it is ripe, whether it is unripe or ripe, mango is mango, right? It's a fruit. But when it is ripe, it becomes more sweet, right? And it becomes more tasteful and more relishable, right? Same way, a devotional service. You might ask, we need to perform devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord in Goloka. Why are we doing it here? Devotional service is devotional service. And it is said that you practice on earth and you perform in Vaikuntha. So whatever devotional service that we are doing here is practice, right? It is practice. That's why we have so many rules and regulations, regulative principles and all that, because we have to perfect it. It's an art, right? We have to perfect that art. And when you get perfect, when you master that art, what happens? You go to Goloka, you get promoted to Goloka, and there you naturally perform it because you've already mastered the art over here, right? So if the life that we are living here is actually preparation for our eternal next life. Next life, if you want it to be eternal in the association of Lord Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, then you have to practice it here properly, right? Properly. So both whatever you're doing here and whatever you'll be going there in Goloka and doing, it is the same, serving the Lord. But here you have rules and regulations, limitations, everything, because we have to master the art. We have to crack this, it's we need to master this, how to do it properly, so that Krishna becomes pleased. And there you actually perform it. This is rehearsal. In Vaikunta, you actually perform it. Right? So, and it is possible, the takeaway is, it is possible to mature in devotional service only in the association of devotees. So many mistakes we do. We don't even know how to do things right. Who teaches all this? Right? It's only association of devotees. We automatically learn. We automatically learn. Nobody needs to come and teach us. When we are in the association of devotees, we automatically learn everything properly. Right? And in the next shloka, it is said, right? A devotee, if a person happens to associate with a devotee whose heart always hankers after your lotus feet, seeking always their fragrance, is never attached to the material body. He does not literally care for anything material, right? So this is the what are you getting in return, right? Phala, the fruit of devotee association. We understood the importance of devotee association in the previous verse, and what are you going to get from it, right? Get from it. What are you going to get from it is explained in the next verse, right? Here it is clearly said, in Gopi Geet, gopis say, what gopis say? तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः. See, gopis say, this comes in Gopi Geet, one of the favorite verses of Srila Prabhupada. Tava katamritam tapta jivanam. It's a favorite verse of N.N.D. Prabhuji also. He keeps praising this verse. What it says? The nectar of your words and your descriptions of your devotee, of your activities, all in the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations transmitted by learned sages eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly, those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. See, it says Krishna Katha is definitely nectarian, no doubt about it. But what gopis say? Only when Krishna Katha is transmitted by learned sages, by devotees, by pure devotees, they eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. Right? You might say, I will read Srimad Bhagavatam at home. Alone, I will sit and read. You will not get the impact. Read it in devotee association and see the same words. You sit at home and read alone, and then you read in the association of devotees. You see the difference, right? So the power, it all lies in the association of devotees, right? So these narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Punya Shravana Kirtanam, right? When you hear Krishna Katha or read Krishna Katha or narrate Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, the propensity for it to bestow mercy enhances, right? And certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. Krishna also says, right, teach Bhagavad Gita to devotees, and such people are very dear to me, Krishna says. Right, so it's very important to do whatever devotional service you're doing, do it, but do it in the association of devotees. That's why N.N.D. Prabhu says, do not chant alone, chant in the association of devotees. Join from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, right? So many people join, more than hundreds, 200 people join, right? And chant in the association of devotees. That's when the power multiplies, or the phala, the fruit, right? The what you get, the return return on investment, we say, right? That multiplies when you do it in the association of devotees, right? And here it is said, your lotus feet, only when we associate with a devotee who hankers after your lotus feet, seeking always that fragrance, is never attached to the material body, right? Bhakta Pada Duli. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it explains three things, right? That we have to, that is what we have to seek from pure devotees is Bhakta Pada Duli or Bhakta Pada Jal. Bhakta Pada Duli is the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees, okay, Vaishnavas. And Bhakta Pada Jal, the jal or the water that we use to wash their lotus feet, right? That water. And Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha. That means the remnants of the food or prasadam eaten by Vaishnavas, pure devotees. So these are we say, devotee association, devotee association. So what are we going to hanker for in devotee association is these three things. We need to take the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees and put it on our head, forehead, eyes, and all that. Okay, so that we will also get little bit of Krishna Prema or their level of devotional service. At least little bit we will get. And Bhakta Pada Jal. If in case you wash the lotus feet of a devotee when you welcome them and all that, take that water, sprinkle it on your head again. That is also very, very important. And then Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha. When pure devotees or, Vaishnavas eat prasadam, no? Prabhupada used to actually give little sweets and all that. If he has two jalebis, he used to give one jalebi to his devotee who used to sit with him along with Prabhupada while eating. Okay, we used to just take little food from his plate only and distribute it to all the people who were sitting with him. So that is Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha. That becomes Mahaprasadam. That is not Prasadam. Just because it is coming from a pure devotee, see, when it is offered to Krishna, it is Prasadam. When a pure devotee eats it and that remnants, if you get to taste, that is Mahaprasadam. It's more powerful than Prasadam because it's eaten by a favorite person, Krishna's favorite person. Right? Pure devotee is always Krishna's favorite person. And Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha. So these three things is what we are supposed to hanker for. Right? And instantly you will see the progress in devotional service. Right? And here Prabhupada glorifies, he talks about the difference between devotees and non-devotees. Right? So what is, how are non-devotees? How do you get to know that this person is a non-devotee? Is when he's too much body conscious, right? Too much attached to the body, right? And that is bodily identification. The false ego is too high for that person. Saying, yeah, I am so and so person. I'm a CEO of a company. I'm that. I'm this. I'm a mother. You are my son. You have to listen to me because I'm your mother. Who is whose mother? Nobody is nobody's mother, right? So that is called body consciousness. Too much attached to body, right? And so that's how people are. Non-devotees are, and too much in bodily relationship, dictating over, in at home, dictating over family members. Just because you're the head of the family, nobody is head of nobody's family. First of all, the family that we have is not even our family, right? And we are forced to take birth in so and so family because of our desires and karma. Our family is in Goloka eternally, right? And too much attached, materially attached with offspring, friends, home, wealth, wife. These are all the characteristics of a non-devotee, right? So far we understood we need to have devotee association. So we should first know how to avoid association with non-devotees. So for that we need to know who are non-devotees. So non-devotees are all these people. Just by seeing them, you will get to know. Just observe them for 5 minutes. You'll get to know just through their behavior how they are, right? And in case that person is actually chanting, say that person is chanting, right? Not 16 rounds, maybe he's chanting 1 round, or say he's not chanting, but he has faith in Krishna. Those people all come under the category of Tanishtadikari. Tanishtadikari means they are also devotees, but they are very, 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 very small compared to the stages others are, right? They are very less advanced. They are just beginners, Kanishtadikari. So you don't have to go and associate with such people because they are not yet full devotees, okay, or not even making attempt to become devotees. You just have to respect them in your mind. Do not comment on them, even in your mind. Do not negatively comment on them, but just respect them in your mind. Oh, he's chanting. Oh, he's having faith in Krishna. That's all, right? That's how you respect Kanishtadikaris or behave with Kanishtadikaris. Okay, not respecting them, scolding them, having problems with them. That is also an offense. That is called Vaishnava Aparad because they are also devotees. It's just that their devotional service is still not matured, but they are having some kind of association with Krishna, right? So they are also devotees, but so disrespecting them is also wrong. Okay, so we have to respect them. This is given in nectar of devotion. This is how you treat Kanishtadikaris or non-devotees, and non-devotees and Kanishtadikaris who are just neophytes in devotion service. So And because a devotee knows that he is not the body, he is never affected by bodily happiness or distress. He is not interested in bodily relationships with wife, children, home, bank balance, etc., or in the distress and happiness which comes from these things. This is a special advantage of being a devotee, right? Narayana para sarve. Yeah, there's a shloka. Yeah, Swargapavarga narakesho api tulyartha darshana. For a devotee, whether he is in Swarga, heaven, or hell, Naraka, or liberated in Brahmajyoti, whether he is merged in Brahmajyoti, he is the same. He does not change. His activities does not change. His mindset does not change. Even if he goes in hell, he will chant Hare Krishna. Even if he goes to heaven, he will chant Hare Krishna. He will offer devotion service. Right? Swargapavarga narakeshu api tulyartha darshanaha. It's equal for him. It's equal for him. Can you imagine? Right? It's equal for him. So this is what we need to understand. He does not care for any material distress or happiness. Even if he gets some happiness in life, he still does not care, right? Because he knows very well, even a happy day lasts for 24 hours only, and a sad day also lasts for 24 hours only. There's no point, and Krishna himself says, no, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada, happiness and distress comes and goes like seasonal changes, like summer season, winter season, right? So it just comes and goes with seasonal changes, and you don't have to be very attached to the material happiness and distress that that you get, right? So that's very important. And Prabhupada also adds to it, right? So he says, this is given in eighth chapter, okay, 4.8.56, 50 shloka. So Prabhupada says, it's very, very important for devotees to be regulated, right? Even, he should not be anxious to have very palatable dishes. Of course, wherever it is possible. It's not that we have to live like sannyasi, saying, I don't want, it's very tasty, I don't want to eat that food. Offer it to Krishna and then have it as prasadam. This is called regulations. We learned in the previous verse, right? Our devotional service is full of regulations, regulative principles. There's a lot of rules to follow because we have to perfect the art, master the art and all. What is the regulation? Simple regulations, right? Do not do it for your sense gratification, do it for Krishna's sense gratification. So if you want to have palatable dishes, offer it to Krishna. Then have it as prasadam. And do not eat just because it is nice, do not eat and fill up your stomach fully, right? Even according to Ayurveda, it is the same thing. Prabhupada says, eat 50% of your appetite. Just eat 50%. Remaining 50%, you need to divide. 25% is for water and 25% is for air. Then only digestion process will be smooth. And when you eat 50%, only when you overeat is the cause of all the diseases, right? So the most important factor is that devotees should be regulated. That is very important. Okay, that is one of the good qualifications of a devotee. Do not hanker to satisfy the tongue with a particular kind of foodstuff. He should be satisfied to eat whatever prasadam is available by the grace of the Lord. And in the association of devotees, we naturally learn these things, right? We naturally learn these things. So it's very, very important to serve the devotees, whether they are superior to you, whether they are just beginning, whether they are on your level. In all the three levels, you can still serve devotees, right? So this status of life is possible only when a person is interested in associating with a pure devotee who always enjoys the fragrance of the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the key takeaway. Okay. Hare Krishna. On this note, we will end the class. Any doubts? Any questions? Anybody?
Mataji, I have a doubt, Mataji. I have put it in the chat. Your devotees do not desire for liberation, Mataji. They reside wherever they are put, be it hell or anywhere. What is the point in being in the hell, Mataji, when they are not going to be
To
punished?
convert all the hell residents into devotees.
Anyways,
You
they
know
have to
one thing?
suffer. They have to go through what for the actions that they have done, Mataji. That is why they are in the hell.
No. You know what Krishna says? Moksheshyami mashacha. Whatever situation you're in, how much ever your baggage is, of bad karmas, just surrender to me and I'm going to free you from all the problems or all the sinful reactions that you yet to suffer, that you have suffered in the past, that you have accumulated in the past. every kind of sinful reactions, right, that we have to suffer or yet to suffer, everything Krishna is going to take, nullify. Krishna is going to nullify. What is the criteria for that? Surrender. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Sarva, he says, right? Sarva papebhyo moksheshyamimashita. Whether you are in hell, whether you are in heaven, right? If you surrender to the Lord, you will be free from all the sinful reactions and you will go back to Goloka wherever you are, from wherever you are. You will be given a chance definitely to come back to earth, master the art of devotion service, become pure devotee, and go back home, back to Godhead immediately and instantly, right? And who is going to tell the hellish residents all this? They don't know. Nobody studies Bhagavad Gita in the hell, right? Or nobody teaches Bhagavad Gita in the hell. So a pure devotee, even and Krishna puts pure devotees for a purpose, right? You go here, you go there. Prahlad was, put into a demoniac family for a purpose, to liberate his father, a demoniac person, right? So Krishna always puts pure devotees in a particular place for a particular purpose, and that is to convert remaining people there in the surroundings also into devotees, right? Um, yeah. Did that answer, Giridhar Prabhuji?
Mataji, yeah, I understand that, Mataji, but hell is a place for devils,
Hmm.
Mataji. So
Hmm.
devils are not going to change, right, their mood or their intentions.
Who said? Prabhupada could convert hippies into devotees. If a drug addict can say that, yeah, I'm getting the same kind of happiness by chanting, and that's why I have stopped drinking and taking drugs, why can't devils, Gokarna and that story where there are two brothers actually. One brother is very, very devoted to the Lord, right? And he listens to Bhagavatam sincerely and all that. And the other brother, I don't know his name, I forgot, right? He is not very serious. Okay, he used to take devotional service very lightly. He used to go and sleep in Bhagavatam classes and all that. Once what happened, because of his mental not well cultured mental abilities, what happened, he died, he committed suicide. Okay, that brother who was not very serious in devotion service, so he committed suicide. And Gokarna, on the other hand, because he was very serious, what happened, he became a preacher of Srimad Bhagavatam. And when he committed suicide, the other brother, he didn't know where to go. When you commit suicide, what happens, your sukshma, the subtle body will be with you, only gross body will go, right? Your mind and intelligence will still be with you. So when we become pretas, right, devils, when we suicide, we will become devils. So such ghostly bodies, we will have our mind, we will completely remember what has happened in our janma, why we committed suicide, everything we remember. Okay, so that person, that brother in ghostly body he used to not go anywhere. He used to only go to that temple and listen to his brother. He used to see his brother reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, listen to his brother's classes and all. He used to sit in a tree, in a particular tree there, and along with all the people there, he also used to listen. And because this Gokarna was an elevated devotee, he could, recognize his brother's soul in that tree, okay, hanging in that tree. So he actually asked him, what happened? Why you here and all? Then that brother said, no, I wasted my previous life. Now I got a ghostly body. I'm a devil right now. I don't even know what to do. So I thought only Shravanam, I remember you telling only Shravanam will help us. So I'm here in this tree doing Shravanam of Srimad Bhagavatam. One day definitely will Krishna will shower his mercy and I will go back home, back to Godhead. And because Gokarna was a pure devotee, he could liberate his brother. And immediately that ghostly body, he got liberated from that ghostly body, and he actually went back home and back to Godhead. Can you imagine? Right? So it's just that you need to make up your mind. And pure devotees go to hell to preach those hellish residents, not anything else, just to help them make up their mind to accept Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead and surrender to them. And once you surrender, any kind of difficulty will just go away, right? And that's why people say, when we say Prabhupada is in Goloka and all, senior devotees say, no, who said he's in Goloka? He's in hell preaching Krishna consciousness. Senior devotees, Prabhupada's initial disciples say that. So they say, no, he is not in Goloka, he is not in heaven, he is not in Vaikuntha, he is in a hell preaching Krishna consciousness and converting all the hellish residents into devotees. That's why it seems that senior disciples say, That's why when Prabhupada disappeared, he also made a lot of other close disciples also disappear along with him. Like Yamuna, I think Yamuna or some, I don't know. So many disciples also disappeared along with Prabhupada just after Prabhupada disappeared because he wanted to form ISKCON in hell. You know, that's what senior disciples say. I'm not saying. Yeah, did that answer?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah. 300 to 350 devotees are, yeah, 300 devotees plus are joining actually. Hari Bol. Yeah. Any other questions? No other questions? Then we can end. We've already chanted 2 rounds, right, for Guru Maharaj?
One Mataji,
Okay.
and halfway I stopped Mataji, second round.
Oh, okay. So, Prakash Prabhu, can we chant 1 round and then you can take over, or how is it? Or do you want to take over now?
Whatever suits you, Mataji.
We thought of chanting 1 round for Guru Maharaj's health and then you can take over.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will have to disconnect from the YouTube and then
Yeah.
be the host. Okay,
We are
fine.
not going YouTube live actually. We are just recording the session.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Giridhar Prabhu, play the 7-minute steppa so that we get over fast and then we can discuss.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivachadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare.